Okay, today we are back with another first impressions video on a brand new designer fragrance. It's been slow lately, but we've got another one and really exciting. It's Phantom Parfum by Paco Rabanne. So I want to say this first off. I think Paco Rabanne does flankers very well usually. I think in general they have a really good grasp and understanding of the fragrance game, not even the community, but more so just knowing trends and how to work them and how to just sell a ton of fragrances. I mean, they have done it time and time again with Invictus, all of its flankers and 1 millions. I mean, those things reach the masses. They do know what they're doing. I do think with Phantom, though, they dropped the ball a little bit, and that's mostly because, well, we had the original released, and it's a fine scent. It's nothing to get excited about. But then we had Phantom Legion, which looks to be a flanker, except for it's exactly the same as the original. And the note breakdown, same deal. I mean, they are just the same. You just have a different looking bottle. And for those of you who are unaware, this is it right here. This is Legion. This is the original. And, you know, the same scent, just a different bottle. That's not very exciting. And I do think that that is something that does annoy people because I know it frustrated me. So this is a situation here where pick whichever bottle you think looks cooler. Personally, I'll take the camo, but it is what it is. Same exact scent. So when they release another flanker, you kind of wonder to yourself, is this actually going to be different this time, or are they screwing around? Now, because it's being labeled as a Parfum, Phantom Parfum is the name of it, I would expect this one to be somewhat different. Who knows if they're just taking that original DNA and bumping it up, increasing the performance, or maybe they're changing it. The note breakdown has changed a little, and we'll go over that in a minute, but this is the new Phantom Parfum right here. Really quickly also, I want to look at the back. It is a vegan formula, 90% natural origin, the ingredients, made in France, which we knew, but also an interesting thing that I noticed that I want to point out. It says very long lasting. Not often do you see brands, designer or niche, advertise the longevity of a scent on their packaging. Maybe they'll use some wording and say it's an intense experience when they write out their elaborate descriptions on their website, but that's a new one. Unfortunately, in this video, we won't put that to the test because this is a first impressions, but later on down the road, I will kind of dive into that performance metric. Another thing is these are refillable. So, or actually, you know what? This one maybe is not. Interesting note, the others are. This will not twist off, I don't believe. But anyway, here is the bottle. It looks very sharp. Probably my favorite bottle yet. A nice matte black finish. It's not going to be a fingerprint magnet really like the other ones are, or at least they won't show up as much. I think it looks pretty sharp. The important thing is the smell. So we'll get this one on. The atomizer is fine. Kind of similar to an Invictus atomizer or even 1 million. I'm sure they're all the same. So smelling it, I'll be pretty honest right off the initial rip here. It smells very similar to the original Phantom. You get that very common citrus aromatic sweetness combination. Kind of a muddled mixture of some lemon with some vanilla, some lavender. It's a scent that pretty much everybody in the real world, the masses, will enjoy and find to be pleasant. But for us who are looking for something a bit more, it's not exciting. And I think at this point we've all figured out that if you're wanting something unique and different, you shouldn't be looking to Paco Rabanne, and you definitely shouldn't be looking to Phantom. So I think we can kind of establish that we're just not looking for that here anyway. But what I do want to see with the Phantom line is differences within the scents, because why keep buying the same thing over and over again? And again, I'm not saying this is exactly the same, but it does smell very similar. Looking to me, at least initially, that what they are doing is just basically reworking that original DNA and making it stronger and maybe a little bit more rich and intense, like a true Parfum, which really I guess I can't complain too much about. It just comes down to the fact that personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Phantom anyway, and so I don't get all that excited about it. But if you're someone that does like Phantom and you want a stronger, more intense version, a true Parfum version, I think this will be it for you. I also want to point out, really quick note about the bottle is that whether you can see it or not, this is glass and you can see the level. You can see it splashing around a little bit there, which is a cool touch. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the note breakdown because again, it is different. So up top we have rhubarb, cardamom, bergamot, and lemon. In the mid we have lavender, patchouli, geranium, and cedarwood. Good amount of aromatics there, like I had mentioned. In the base we have vanilla, vetiver, and tolu balsam. So a little difference there. The tolu balsam is an additional note that was not found in any of the other versions. Another thing that I noticed about the top notes here, there's no lemon zest. Now that was used in both Phantom and Phantom Legion, which are interchangeable. They're the same thing. What else? The lavender has shifted around. In the other ones, it was at the top. Now it's in the mid. Also in the other ones, lavender was in the top, mid, and dry down listed off. It's not like that anymore. What else do we have going on here? Yeah, that's basically it. The smoke and the earthy notes of the previous two versions were removed here. And instead we're getting some geranium. They've also removed the apple from the old. I mean, you guys get the point. There are some small discrepancies and you can really look through yourself if you're that interested. But again, it just comes back to the fact that it still is that Phantom DNA. It just maybe a little bit creamier, a little bit sweeter and richer. And I would attribute that to maybe being from the tolu balsam, giving it a little bit of a balsamic kind of sweet smokiness. But that's kind of the extent of it. And so again, if you're coming here looking for something that is wildly different than the original, this is not going to be it. But if you want something stronger, this would be a good choice. And personally, I would say if you're looking to purchase Phantom and you don't own the original yet, this might be one that you would just consider jumping straight into and skipping the original. I do think that it would be redundant to own both. If you're fine with the performance and the smell of the original, stick with it. You don't need this. If you want something stronger, maybe go for it. But again, it's not going to be something that a lot of people, I think, are going to rush out and go get. I know I wouldn't. That's kind of contradictory because I did rush out and buy this one at full retail, but that's only because I'm making videos on it for basically all of you guys at home. You don't really need this. Unless you want it, unless you want something stronger, but a lot of you, I think, will probably pass on this. Now, I would like to see them either next put out a summer version, you know. It could kind of rework this DNA, focus more on the aromatics, strip back some of the sweetness, add in maybe a C note, an aquatic note. For God's sakes, even make a blue fragrance version, just something different than this DNA that we've already been given to us twice now between the two. And also, yeah, I just don't. And also, it's kind of weird that this is not refillable anymore. That was a big thing with the original two. You could refill them. Not anymore, I suppose. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Phantom Parfum. The other thing I would like to see is just this DNA, but just honestly, throw in some tobacco, throw in some whiskey, throw in some iris. Give us something like that to really shake it up on the next run. Maybe an eau de parfum intense or something, or an elixir, just something different. I'll drop a link to this down below if you want to look into it at retail, but I think that's pretty much going to do it for me. I'll probably follow up in some sort of list video talking about the performance. I don't think it's something that I'm going to cover in a full review. I just don't think there's going to be interest for it. Quality is fine. It's on par with the original. It's just basically a little bit more of a rich version of the original Phantom. So let me know what you think down below if you've tried it. Are you going to check this one out or not? I also want to point you in the direction of my emailing list and my texting list. Awesome. Dior Homme Parfum just came in stock. There was, I think, close to 100 units that popped up. And as soon as it did, I shot an email out and I shot a text message out. And you guys were able to get a lot of it. You guys bought up the bulk majority of what was listed, and it was a limit of 1, so you couldn't just go and buy 5 of them. But you guys were able to get your bottles, and that's awesome. That's what the mailing list and the texting list is for. The new Le Mans Elixir also showed up below retail at the same exact time. You guys are able to get that as well. These things do sell out quick. It is important to get on the mailing list at the first link down below and get on the texting list by sending any text to the number down below. You will be entered, and you will have first dibs on when rare stuff like that pops up. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.